Live. I think we're recording right now. It's always fun to find out when it actually kicked on.
God damn it.
God damn it, Zach.
That's me. I'm on
Welcome
here with
everybody.
I'm on here with Skeeter Green and Mr. Jim Wampler, the Wizard of Wampler. And we are here to talk about some Kickstarter, some crowdfunding, and some various other whatever we think about. We don't really have a show plan, which is exactly how we like it. Um,
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because this one actually did have a whole plan to talk about zines.
and what value did
Uh,
that happen? Yeah, because what happened? Skeeter Green, fill him in.
Yeah, Levi Combs of Phylactery 1 and 2, soon to be 2 fame, and many others, and good friend of the show, uh, he bailed. No,
Wouldn't
no,
you? Wouldn't
no.
you?
Yeah,
If you had the option, would you bail to?
he had
No.
to go play Call of Duty, except not the console game,
yeah,
Yeah, the
the
actual
right.
life
Call of Duty.
No,
responsibility game.
he.
Yeah, like life responsibilities. Like I don't know of any of those, but they seem legit.
So for some actual background, Levi's wife works in the medical field on a military base, so she got called in, and Levi has to take care of what I can only say is one of the most adorable kids I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, what a
Owen
groovy
is
little dude. I immediately wanted to run like a Ghostbusters game for him.
yeah, Owen is awesome. So yeah, he wasn't able to talk the zines. So we are going to switch because we are so agile, agile. We
Yeah.
can shift focus. So we're gonna shine our flashlight on Mr. Jim Wampler and talk to him what he's been up to lately.
Oh, Lord.
Well, we've
In a special scraping the bottom of the barrel episode of Goddammit.
oh come on now
No,
look at just
we are
some
on
of
the
the
barrel.
things.
You're already bringing the class up the joint, man.
I mean, yeah, that Steve Marsh beard is actually working.
Yeah, no, I was going to admire that out loud because it really does give you the wizard look you've always deserved and just hadn't
Yeah.
quite rocked until now, man.
You know, I just got bullheaded and said, I'm not shaving until there's a vaccine. And I didn't know I could do this. I'd never done it before. So thank you.
Well, you've needed that for a long time because it that matches your entire persona perfecto.
Yeah, the wizard beard with the computer over your shoulder and all the artifacts in the background. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
Oh, I'm doing a crypt rehab, but obviously I haven't gotten to the studio yet.
So let's start off with the immediate thing that you're doing. Founders and Legends is sneaking right up on you.
Oh, yeah. That's Luke Gygax, and they run it every year, but this year it's virtual. Obviously, you guys probably know as much about it as I do. And I'm running a MCC game tomorrow, and that'll be great. But what I'm really excited about is Jim Ward is running Saturday is running a Celebrity Metamorphosis Alpha game. So
Yeah, that's
not just it won't just be me who immediately dies. It'll be Tim Kask, Ernie, lots of people.
Yeah, I don't think I managed to get a picture of it. So this is the tabletop events site in the big screen that we can show here. So if anybody's interested, there's still a bunch of seats. You can watch all of this on Twitch. Um, I watched it last time they did it, and it was great.
Oh, last year I had it up on my Apple TV all weekend long.
Yeah, I mean it's fantastic. There's a lot going on for Extra Life, and we
One of the
always.
one of the drag parts of it though is that Matt Finch is going to be running a game there. And I
Oh
think it's going
boy.
to be on their Twitch channel, and I also know that Frog got it sponsored with some of the. If you buy one of the higher level packages, where you get PDFs and such from Frog God, and with Bill Webb is on vacation, and so I let Pex make the decision of what we put in those bags. So I assure you, they were better than they would have been, and that's just the way it goes, man. When the big cat's away, the rest of us have a good time.
Oh, some things never change.
No,
That
no,
used to be me in charge of that kind of stuff.
and yet we advanced exactly 0 spaces.
and you and you still have a company to play in.
Yep. Yes.
In addition to Founders and Legends, I keep wanting to talk about virtual Gamehole Con just because this is the first time that Alex and the guys have been forced to do a Gamehole Con, and they swore up and down they would not do a virtual, but there was so much demand for it, they decided to do it. So we're happy to push that. Everybody check out Founders and Legends, go to tabletop events, get into a game, run a game. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it's not too late to get in a game because there are open seats in Founders and Legends, and GameholeCon needs support, like to run virtual games.
Yeah. So the nice thing is you get the opportunity. Well, the nice and bad thing is you get to play in games with people all across the planet.
No, and I think that one of the things that I'm hoping to see from this is we get more and more people solidifying the virtual gaming conventions as a legit way for us as a hobby to come together in what's are otherwise miserable times and to actually make a better hobby of what we've got. And these are the ways to do it. So I encourage you to sign up for games if you have the time, because you'll find that you'll meet people who are just like you, who enjoy playing games, want to talk about games and want to play games, and they don't want to argue about politics. They don't want to argue about anything else. They want to argue about armor classes the way we like it. And so
Right.
I encourage
And
everybody to do
and for the record, it's descending.
this.
That
For the
that's
record, that's
that's
true.
that's all I have to say. Don't even get wound up there, Mr. Wampler. I can see
No,
you
no, I would just
already
think
trying
that
to.
last episode Zach said something about this very same thing that I mega agree with, which is this is the opportunity for anyone, regardless of money or ability to afford plane tickets or long road trips, to attend these cons.
And to be a part of the con, as we all have it, it's not like we're not being separated by cash here. We're being separated by time. And if we have the time and a few dollars, you can play in the games just like everybody else plays in them. And
Right.
it's I think it's awesome. It's in a way, it's very, very much a reset in terms of how all the events happen. And so be a part of it now and then help it grow. I encourage everybody to do it. I think it's a lot of fun. If you can't play, watch it. Watch it on Twitch and interact with the Twitch audience. My wife, who many of you know, especially because we have a short audience, they all know, and we're all afraid of her. But my wife, she is actually a huge fan of Twitch TV shows, and she loves to interact with the audience about things that. When you told me, and when I got married, that she would watch Alyssa Fade and draw maps almost every night.
Wow.
In my house, I hear Alyssa's voice almost every night, and then I hear Kafir. You know, the Cave Geek. I hear between
Yeah.
the two of them, I hear their voices in my house because she loves their shows. And she's not even a map person. I mean, she likes the maps they make, but that's not like her thing so much. She loves being a part of the audience and being a part of like the community that they create their channels. And this is a chance for everybody to be part of that as well. And if you don't have time to play or don't feel like playing or are intimidated by an online game, you can join and be part of it in a way that is fun, that may take away any kind of like hesitancy to have to join. And be honest with you, it's a great time. This is a great time for our hobby. It's for as bad as it looks because we have some things going on with other companies that have a difficult time, staying afloat because of the way everything's structured. In publishing, it's a great time to be a fan and a great time to show your support for
Very
an
much.
industry and doing it with just by playing games. I mean, that's pretty badass, honestly. If you can show your support by playing games, we can all get behind doing that.
I have
You know what I look forward to? You know how like when you get interviewed, everybody wants to know, when did you start gaming? When did you discover D&D? 10 or 15 years from now, that story is going to be somebody saying, well, I'd never played before, but I started watching a Twitch channel on Founders and
Yeah,
Legends and found a
exactly.
virtual group. And that's how I started playing.
Or
Yeah.
I could never afford to go to a con. Now I go to cons 5 times a year and they happen to be in my living room, but the experience is so much the same because you're going to see as technology advances, there's going to be more and more cool stuff that's going to allow us to be more and more social place. And so this is all exciting times, man. And
This
if you're thinking about it and you're watching this, now's the time. And I see that Doug Zielsdorf is in the audience and says ascending AC.
yeah,
And we can't kick people out of the audience.
I have to address our audience. A Mr. Charles Wright, who I guarantee I am unfamiliar with in any capacity, also said that ascending armor class makes more sense, and I'm going to do something that doesn't happen in the social media sphere. I'm going to politely agree to disagree. You
Ooh,
can have your
ooh.
ascending armor
You're gonna
class.
lose your internet
I
pass.
mean,
Hey,
it's
hey.
just math. It's not like it's time.
Well,
The time zero
and
only goes in one direction. Math, you could just subtract or add, and who cares?
the thing about it is I have seen and I have doven, dived, diven. I don't know
Given.
what the correct word is. I have gotten into some Facebook threads about people who are outraged about certain things in gaming. It's the whole thing about edition wars. I don't care. If you want to have ascending armor class and it
But
makes you play more games, win-win.
hey, man, Matt Finch set it up in Sword and the Wizard to do that, and he's the guy who hates everything new. He's the crotchety guy in the corner who despises new things, and he has it in his game. So if you like it,
Yeah.
play it the way you want. So
So
yeah.
this
It's not all bad
Ascending's
being
better.
old.
Oh.
Because I sit here, like 4 months away from turning 60. And all I can see when I look out on the game industry today is the embarrassment of riches. And I
Yeah.
mean, we'd have
Right.
killed for this stuff when I was a
Yep.
kid.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter how you want to run it or play it. Somebody's out there writing it. You can go get it on Drive Through RPG and have it on
Yep.
your phone. I mean, that's Jetson stuff to me.
And you can make it yourself and put it up there quickly. Or for me, the one that's always most amazing is if I want to have a dungeon, I can print it out at my house.
So since
It could
since
be a
we're
dungeon.
diving into this so well, the embarrassment of riches, let's jump into the Kickstarters, and then we're gonna hang out on Jim's Kickstarter for a while since he's our guest and all. But but I have some questions and some information. But yes, I mean this is a fantastic time. These Kickstarters that we're going to show are just some of the people that we know and we have worked with and been around, but there are so many that I will get into later. It is a great time to be a gamer, despite all of the bitching and complaining and the apocalyptic virus. People are being creative and they are making it happen.
They're making it happen.
So
And people, if you want to make it happen, now's a good time. You want to support people making it happen, now's a great time. And that guy,
this dude right here. Look, again, I click on the Kickstarter, it gets money. Berg, you owe me, buddy.
yeah, he's doing great.
Oh, that's right. That does always happen when you do that. So hurry up and get to mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna get to yours. Um, again, I have to say I do have a part in this book. I am helping write some
Well,
tactics.
that's why it raised the extra $77,000.
No, there would be double the money if my name was not attached to this book.
That's good for
no.
Brian. That's a great.
Yeah,
that's a
it's
good success.
fantastic. Brian's been on the show. He's a good friend of both of us. He's a great guy. He has a unique grasp of game mechanics and how to use them in different ways. He's very good at it, which kind of pisses me off. But
No, he has a true grasp of it, and I think he does a good job. I think this book is going to be a good one. He involves lots of people who have been underutilized, I think, lately because of some of the bigger companies not spending a lot of money right now.
I mean,
Brian is actually making everybody put them all to work and getting good stuff out of them. I mean, I think that McFarlane character's in there, isn't he? I mean, that guy's a
That-
loon.
that
They hired
hippie-
him.
get a haircut.
Yeah.
No, and the quality for a long time when we were coming up in the game. So I'm gonna put on my moderately old man hat. When we were coming up, some of the third party products throughout the history of D&D have not been the best. But
Judges Guild.
oh damn! Shot fired.
Wow. And true. But that was like right through the
super accurate.
anyway.
No, with getting all of these people putting out product and Kickstarters and as third party publishers and this sap. I mean, what has this guy ever done?
He points.
Yeah. Well, I'm just happy he's using that finger when he's pointing at me, because normally it was a couple of other ones.
No, I always see him pointing you with his other fingers.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's the lieutenant colonel finger right there.
Yeah, I know. That finger's got some gravitas. Um, no, Brian's stuff, even back in the early 3.0 days with Total Party Kill, always top quality. He always puts out a good product. It's not one of those companies that just puts something out to have shelf space.
I mean, look at what they're showing in that
Um,
Kickstarter. The graphic design on that is super handsome.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to try and do that kind of graphic design and horse it up.
And now here we get to the stretch goals. Give us a minute. This scrolls for a while. he's put a lot of extra work into this.
And this one is definitely, because Brian's got tracker, it's going to deliver. It isn't the cheapest one you can get, but it's definitely going to be a deliver, and I love the dice.
And Total Party Kill also gives you accessories. It is not just books. Brian has sold what little portion of his soul was left to get these killer deals on all these dice. I mean, he cranks them out.
He's a good dude. I support.
Yeah, I don't know what the halo is on that. I think that's false advertising right there.
Well, maybe it's only because you're part of this
That's
project.
your character's spirit on its way to the next plane.
That's exactly it.
I was today years old when I learned that. Thank you, Mr. Wampler. I didn't know. I kind of thought it was a halo, like Brian was a good guy.
No.
I really did.
So, yeah, no.
And now I feel stupid.
Hey, did it go up again? It did.
Hey, you're welcome, Berg.
98K, that's big league stuff.
Well,
there.
quick,
If you know he's going to deliver and you're going to get a great hardback book, how could you go wrong?
So I actually put a little bit of thought into how we were going to progress through these. So the next one that is ending soonest is our buddy Ben Barsh. And there's Ben Barsh in the Z of Goddammit Zach, because I am going to consistently flash this picture of him in a wounded state. Because even with surgery on his neck and ivy in his hand, he's still got that hair.
He does.
All right, enough of that one. Yeah, no. Nope.
No, Ben Barsh, he works with me quite a bit at Frog God, doing videos and doing, he does a lot of work with me on the Tome of Horrors, and he is a good kid who really works hard, who has a million things going on. He's able to deliver his stuff while doing a million things. If you want to support like up and coming people from, really like between him and I think we're mentioning Raven stuff later too as well, right?
I didn't find that, but we will track it down. So
between him and like Raven Metcalf, I mean, we're seeing.
Yeah, it's worth finding Ravens too.
Yeah. Because we're seeing people who half my age.
See,
I'm the youngest guy here. Half my age.
Well, it's a good analogy between the two of them because they are both talent-wise exceeding their progenitors.
Well, that's for sure.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
I mean, I love his dad and everything, but how many years have we been saying stop using papyrus as a title font on the book cover? Here comes Ben.
Not using papyrus.
Yeah.
So just as an example, so Ben is what, 22 now?
Baby.
Early 20s. This piece of art right here is by Wonky.
Also,
Keelan Halverson.
Did that math?
Yeah. Keelan is, I don't know how old Keelan is, but he is young, up and coming.
20, 21, something like that.
Right. So I wanted to get to them. Raven, who did the art right before this, is what, 18? I mean, isn't she like?
I think she's 20.
Is she 20 already?
She is 1/3 Jim's age.
Yeah, and they're all kids to me. They could be 30.
Oh yeah. No, it's crazy. And the nice thing is we, especially with like Raven and Ben, I mean, we've gone to North Texas for so many years. They were legitimately little kids when they were there.
Well,
So
for
to
reals, you and I had this actual conversation just a couple weeks ago where we were talking in very praise-like terms of Keelan and his art and
right.
discussing it between us. And you said something like, I forget how old that kid is. And I'm like, well, he's 2 years older than I was when I started driving 100 miles to Cincinnati to buck the crap out of tin cats to
Right.
publish my stuff. So, he's not a kid.
Yeah. I mean,
That would make me Tim Cast. Oh boy.
Well, it's just where you're at. I mean, I'm 19,
I know.
31, and he was an old man to me then. At 31, I was like, oh, that old guy, man, he's cranky.
you don't have enough
That has
curmudgeon
changed.
in 5 Zacks to be Tim Kask. But somebody who does have a lot of vinegar in their salt, this guy, the Lex Luthor of gaming.
Oh boy. Now this is one we don't need to push very hard because it pushes itself. But Tom Tullis is an evil little man.
Dude.
You want to walk by him and slap him on his bald head. No, he's great. He has a great company. He makes great products. And if you're into 3D printing, if you've never done 3D printing but thought about it, back one of these and buy a 3D printer because they're awesome.
Tom Tullis is the Steve Jobs of our entire industry.
He is Steve
really
Jobs
is.
3D printing for sure. Because he created an industry out of nothing, man. I mean, he originally made the print
the papercraft terrain.
Paper terrain. And they're really great. Like, it's one of those things where I was like, who'd want to use that? I like tried one. And I'm like, whoa. And then the thing is after that he started doing the Dragon Lock stuff, and it is awesome.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of it all over the place in this room.
And now he has lights and fire.
Yep. I mean, we're all 3D printers amongst us here, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, what I love about Tom's stuff is there's no screwing around. You just slap it on the plate and bang, it prints.
It does.
There we go. That's the one I'm waiting for.
You know what? And that's Skeeter. That actually is you. Did he tell you that?
Yeah. I mean, it could be.
He didn't ask your permission though to be for the use of your likeness.
Yeah. When have any of you guys asked for my permission to use me in a terrible way? Which sounds awful.
Tom is not a sweetheart, Charles, right? I just want to make sure that's clear.
I don't think I've ever cartooned you, Skeeter. I know I have Zach. Thanks. That's a good idea.
Oh boy. So yes, this is Tom, and legitimately you can see his link here to his Fat Dragon website. If there's any questions you have about 3D printing terrain or working on a 3D printer, he does some great step-by-step videos. I even followed him, and as everyone knows, I don't follow instructions at all. They were great. And
can I be Tiny Tom for a minute?
Please be Tiny Tom.
I'm much better promoting other people's stuff. I mean, what if you're not in this Kickstarter yet, what's the level jump in this one is that the terrain pieces and some of the monsters even have modular 3D printed battery cartridges and LED lights that go in them and make those fires all light up and make the Draco Lich's guts blow. And minis. There are player character minis and lots of villagers and town folks in this one. And again, it's the same thing. Like you go to Hero Forge, you've got to put your supports in if you're going to 3D print that and download it.
Yeah, I failed at that.
Tom stuff. Well, I mean, there's just art and a skill to it, and you can learn it, but you don't even have to think about it. With the minis coming from Fat Dragon Games, bang, print. If your printer's dialed in, you're gold.
Yep, it is.
Show the steam tank, the ball punching one.
Which was it's already like 3 stretch goals ago now.
Yeah, I know, but it's so awesome.
Sorry for anybody who's nauseated by me scrolling like that. Yeah, look at that thing. And if that battering ram is able to come out of there, Zach's gonna choke on it.
I will. I do that for fun and profit.
Because that sounds so bad.
I know, but it's true.
All right. So yeah, go give Tullis some love and respect. He's done a ton for the RPG industry, and this niche version of it He's the
Well,
man.
it's not that niche when you see the actual how much money that Kickstarter has made and how much over time that all those will get used. It's a huge deal.
I mean, run back for a second because I'm gonna run amok. I mean, if you're sitting here at home listening to this and you are not up on 3D printing yet, this is your shot. This is your opportunity. 60, 90 bucks of minis that will take you a year to print out. Tom's Fat Dragon Games YouTube instructional videos on how to assemble the printer and run it. They're like $230 now. I can remember when inkjet printers and stuff back in the day were like that.
That's what the ink costs still, though.
Well, they figured that one out. But yeah, I mean,
but PLA is not that expensive.
This Kickstarter would be a great time to push the button and go, okay, I'm going to spend $230 on the Ender 3 Pro and do this.
You can build an entire village with this Kickstarter. One of the things
you can make Christmas special and add fire to your Christmas village.
That's what I was talking to my wife about. I'm going to print this out, put it out as a little Christmas village, put some Jack Skellington figures in there, and just light it all on fire.
Guys.
Yeah, it's going to be great. All right, now let's get to it.
Yes.
What do we know about this one?
That is the most badass cover for a zine picture ever, and I love the title. Absolutely, Scientific Barbarian is the greatest post-apocalyptic thing ever. And now I've said it, I'm done. It's so awesome. When you thought of that, you must have had a moment of the aha, like the clouds opened up and you got the voices going, ah.
I'll tell you the secret origin. On the Mutant Crawl Classics Facebook group about 3 years ago, some guys were talking about starting a zine and fishing for names. And I just took some Doug Kovacs art. It was like the crude versions you would do that are just on the colored paper in black and white. Threw the logo in, threw in some of Doug's art, and said, hey, how about this? And everybody turned their nose up at it. And it sat on my hard drive for 3 years until I remembered I had it recently. I went, wait, this is too good. I should do this.
See, the thing about this, and I got to see an advanced version of this layup. And every time I look at it, I find something new that I missed a time before. There is so much going on in that cover without being busy and obnoxious. I just now see the face in the tree. I am today years old when I noticed that was a character.
That's a gentleman I've known a long time named Barry James, and he's a UK artist. And we met when he was getting his master's thesis, and I was first writing NCC, and he needed text for a master's thesis to illustrate around, and I needed art for my playtest version before I'd sold it to Goodman or talked to anybody about it. So we just did a swap.
And look at all this stuff going on.
Now he's a big famous guy over in the UK because that was years ago, doing all kinds of art. Well, yeah, let me try and get over myself and sell this.
Here's one. Hold on. I'm gonna say the best part. The best part about this right now, no one gets more embarrassed when you say how great their stuff is than Jim Wampo does. And having him on here gives me the opportunity to really enjoy this part because this fucking does kick a lot of ass, and it's something you really should buy, and it's going to be great. And I assure you. And he hates this right now. I can feel it in my bones. He just can't take the actual respect, but he's going to get it because this is going to be great. This is really one you should buy if you're into zines at all. This one is like this and the Phylactery are the two that I think are two of the best I've seen. So,
well, that's good company to be in. So the conceit here is it's called a zine, but it's styled more like a black and white magazine, and I'm trying to do it in a premium format. So like it will be exactly like this book here. In fact, it should be about 60 pages by the time we're done with this. So perfect bounds, sit on your shelf, square bound, good and solid every issue. Because I think now there has to be more if it's funding so well.
Now, I'd like to say that this is a shot of what's in the book, but things have changed since this table of contents has been put in. Jim,
well, naturally, any of the content, the book is maybe half laid out now with what I've got, but there's a lot of art that has to be filled in. And one of the stretch goals we just added that went bang out the door. So it won't help anybody listening to this was this Credit This Monster, where backers could pledge, get multiple copies, and a credit in the book on that contents page. just by sending in a monster idea. And if they're good, we'll use them exactly as they're sent in. But of course, there was fine print to keep us from getting any Bodie McPenis face monsters that our artists and writers will make it look really nice. But you could be in the first issue to try and get some of that premiere issue cachet going.
So I want to focus on this picture because this represents the 3 Kickstarters that Jim has done before the current one that's going right now. And I believe all of these fulfilled early. Is that correct?
They were all 3 on time, and the dice was a little wiggly because it started delivering on time, but it took me like 3 or 4 weeks to pump all the shipments out. Learning curve stuff.
But as a backer, I got my stuff, and it showed up nice, was not dinged up. Everything was solid. So far he's batting 1,000.
No, this is one that if this is your thing, you should be supporting it. If not, shame on you.
Yeah, let me talk about the mission statement that's in the front of the book that nobody can read yet. The whole point of this zine isn't just to deliver great post-apocalyptic gaming content for any D20-based RPGs. It's to also invite our fantasy friends in to my personal favorite style of gaming, which is more genre mash. And you don't even have to mash, but old D&D was full of that stuff. You know, the artifacts in the back of the DMG, you know, that lobster submarine thing, and then there's a mech. I think Luke Gygax play tested as a child when they were coming up with it. You know, it's called medieval fantasy stuff, but you get digging down into it. Turns out it's a mech. So it's always been there. But, you know, if you're just running D&D 5e and you want to get your players back on their toes because they've seen it all and done it all, then you get a magazine or a fanzine like this and just start surprising them with little tidbits from the retro future yet to be.
And the ideal way to find that stuff really is zines, and that's why I love them so much. So,
okay, I'm going to let Zach lead the talking about this because I just thought of something we gotta put up here that I forgot about.
Yeah, that's rising.
Zach, talk.
This is in his last hours. It's a Necromancer Games reprint by a book by James Colera, who is a really solid dude. I have not met him or actually interacted with him, except I've heard about his interactions with everybody around me. And this book came out, I think, in 2003, but it's a longer one. It's about 48 pages when we get done with it printed. It's got a bunch of cool maps. It's a high level adventure, which is uncommon recently from a lot of things being printed by anybody.
That's
harder to do. Those are harder to do. But I know that it's being worked on right now with the layout and going through it and verifying lots of stuff. And it's a good one. The price point is exactly what it should be for how many pages it winds up being and how chock full of stuff it is. I know Michael Russell, he did a good job to make sure everything was there together. And the cover can you show the cover closer to this, Scooter?
Yeah, the cover's badass.
Love the cover. And so this is one that it ends pretty soon. It's done. This has been our most successful Indiegogo so far. And that's been a lot of pushing by old Pex to make sure it gets seen because it's a great one. And we're really hoping everybody enjoys it. I, for one, I'm pleased we are making things like this because it's bringing it back to some of the best stuff of the 3E era in terms of like the length of what you're buying an adventure. You're not buying a giant tome of everything. And I think that's kind of cool. And they're nicely printed. We're printed locally to me. And they make sure we get out to backers. And I think everybody's been pleased with how they've turned out in terms of the quality of the actual books and the print, all the way back to when it was just Chuck and I working on City of the Drip Blood. So these are all been really great. Indiegogo's been good to Frog God, and I think that everybody who's backed it and supported it has been great. This has been the best we've done yet. And if you're not a part of it, consider being a part of it, because we don't keep extras. We only actually have the ones that we print for backers, and there's a few copies we make for like I think it's Noble Night Games. Other than that, we don't do prints anymore of those, and they're gone. And so if you want one,
geez. Sorry about that, everyone.
Okay. We
It was-
don't mind
it
your
was-
incompetence is our
It was
favorite.
trippy for a minute because it was Zach's voice over the Infinity Row.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I don't even know what that is on your screen, but I'm scared.
Yeah, no, Levi Combs and Ed Bickford have a Robots and Ray Guns magazine that I was trying to get set up in the background, but knowing my competency level, I totally screwed that up. That will be in a future episode. We saw a little bit of it last time.
We
I
also, by the
I
way, I'm
feel
interrupt
like
you.
a dummy.
We also, Frog God has Tome of Alchemy going on as well through Necromancer Games has Tome of Alchemy on
Shit,
Kickstarter.
I forgot that one too.
That's okay. That's why I'm here to help you. And that one has been a long time coming. It was written by Courtney Campbell back in like 2012 for Pathfinder, and we have gone through a lot of work to make it really fun and 5e friendly. And it's got a great cover by Arb Shakayev. And so, if you want to check that one out on Kickstarter as well, that's a Necromancer Games Tome of Alchemy.
And doesn't the Tome of Alchemy come with some kind of crazy alchemical deck of cards?
There's a card deck that both I think Mike Mars Russell came up with the concept, and he and Pex worked on that a long time. And what it is basically a way to use the recipes and you keep the cards to make the combinations so you have them with your character, and it's really neat. They showed me and explained it to me, and I was very impressed because most card decks I think can be an afterthought or like here's this. These are actually really cool, and
I am so incompetent. It is even impressive to me.
Well, I find your incompetence to be kind of endearing. It's like the shine on your head.
It's like I should constantly have somebody saying, "Oh, bless your heart."
Oh, bless your heart, Skeeter Green.
Yes,
anyway,
Tome of Alchemy.
So if you're looking for something interesting from us that is cool, I would check out that one because a lot of people put a lot of work into that to make it fun and exciting. So, what else you got there, Skeeter Green? You got any more?
Let me get through this one. I worked hard to get here.
Oh, how embarrassing!
Well, I mean, it's a big hardback book, right, Zach?
Yes, it is.
So a whole hardback book. It's not just got alchemical formulas in it. There's how to create magic items.
So it's magic items, and there's going to be a follow-on book with just magic items that uses a similar creation method coming up from Ken Spencer. That's going to be coming up probably in the fall. But I mean, we have lots of plans around this, and we're really hoping the cards take off because we'd like to include some of those with lots of stuff. So when say you bought an adventure and it had a certain type of new creature in it, well, that creature has a certain kind of alchemical component that falls under this category. Here's the card that goes for your card deck. Those kind of things we'd like to consider doing. And in order to do that, though, we have to have enough people who want to buy this. So if you're interested in seeing those kinds of things come from a medium publisher, let us know.
Now I'm suddenly reminded of one of the big differences between virtual and in-person cons. I can't just wander up to the booth and look poor and broke in front of Bill and get one of these.
Yeah, that is.
I'm going to have to plunk down for it somehow.
Yeah, it's a bummer for me too. I have to do the same thing. I buy all of our Kickstarters to make sure I get one.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to go into our segment of RPGs that are about to end.
All right. Would you get Ravens up there? Put Ravens up there.
Yeah. I'm going to send you a link to Ravens.
Okay, somebody send me the link because I tapped out all of my ability in that mad dash for Tome of Alchemy. Yeah, so while the crowd is looking at this, yeah, God, Zach, you got to get a competent second.
Why?
So
you can't tell me why, so I don't need one.
Okay, I just Facebook messaged you the link.
Okay. Now I got to find my Facebook window.
No,
boy. That's not a challenge, surely.
We don't mind you being incompetent, Skeeter. We kind of like it.
I'm getting there.
This is like the Howard Stern show. You need a booth guy running this for you.
Oh, man.
I am his booth guy. Look how hard I'm working.
Literally, a monkey throwing poo at the keyboard could hit the keys faster than I am. I've only got one arm.
Okay, the first thing I want to say about this one is that this is a style of art that I think is so appealing to a lot of younger players that I think that you're going to see this being like badly cannibalized by larger companies because this has just become a big deal. And I think Raven is the legit deal here. This is not a also ran or trying to appeal to somebody. This is what she loves, and I think this is something. If you want to support her, especially in her art, this is a legit way to do it. So,
Oh, look at that little statement. In the spirit of keeping things simple, there won't be any confusing add-ons, extra sites, or hoops to jump through. You're doing it right, kid.
Preach
yep.
it, sister.
Well, yeah, no kidding.
You are doing it right.
So these are stickers and magnets, and maybe don't have a direct connection to medieval fantasy gaming, but I went in on this one anyway because I'll find a home for those.
Yeah, no, and I think that she's done some really great work for us. I know she worked with Ben Barsh for a cover that I just absolutely adore for the BX project. And so
that cover last year she did for the Pace Setter module that was the D&D cartoon guys.
Yep.
That was awesome.
And totally IP.
Oh, look at that thing. I want one of those.
Yeah, I think she's going to learn about that. Did you see that
Even
big
Levi
episode where Sheldon set up?
Levi says the style is growing fast in indie circles, and I think he's correct. So anyway, we like her. We think she's very talented, and if you want to support a project that's up and coming from somebody who definitely, we love when you throw money at Necromancer games, but we're going to use it to make more games. But Raven's going to use this money to legit, make more art because this is the way she can afford to keep doing so, period. So if you want to support an artist and support someone who's really nice and deserves it, it's Raven. We like her way better than we like Lloyd.
Well, I mean, you guys
You're
are
so
Frog
mean,
games.
Zach.
Probably do this, but I'm going to share one of my little secrets. Is I have a Rolodex in my head when I go to these conventions, and when I spot young talent, their name goes into mental Rolodex, and then I let them go through a cycle of getting stuff done until they hit the pro stage, and then I'm going to nab them for that window of time I can afford them before Casey Christopherson trains them up into somebody I can't afford anymore or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been so
Yes,
Raven is one of these
too.
people, and I've been watching her for years. When she was like 14, I'm like, okay, keep an eye on that one. And I tried to get her into Scientific Barbarian. I didn't know what I was going to do with the art style. I just knew I wanted to start using it. I'd figure out a way, and I tried to lure her in, but she had this Kickstarter going. Smartly said, nah, I don't think so this time. But my brain is going 24/7 sometimes with people like that. I'm going to find a way to use her.
No, it's the way I wish.
Wait,
her
that didn't come out right.
all the greatest success. So
It's all right. Somebody's going to get offended by something. So I'm just happy it's not me.
I'm offended by you.
Well, thank you. No, but actually, Jim, that ties into your latest Kickstarter pledge ad is giving creators a shot. Because a lot of times, that's all anybody's looking for is they want the opportunity. And
well, we all had that, I was 18, I'm
Right.
blind mailing stuff to Bob Bledsaw Sr., and then something got in, and that was how it started.
All right, Skeeter, you have your list. Your ending soon list now.
yeah, no, I was just seeing that Kanosferatu has joined us.
I saw him. I talked to him earlier on the Facebook Messenger. He and I have Matt and I did something mean to him. I can't say what it is yet, but we really threw him for a loop.
We're awful
sorry,
human.
Tom.
So at the beginning of this episode, we talked very at length about the embarrassment of riches we are having in the RPG world right now, and these are some Kickstarters that are ending because I decided to sort by ending date. But it gives you a very interesting cross section of what people are creating. And a lot of this stuff looks amazing. You get miniatures from.
Hey, those are the dice you made buy last time, asshole.
Maybe. But yeah, look at it. Miniatures, and with the 3D printing now, there are companies just putting out crazy sculpts. And then these Elixir dice. $500,000.
Wow.
That's insane.
Good for
But
them.
great. Fantastic. Keep doing it. The more people are able to do stuff like this and successfully fulfill, I'll say that, other people are learning what works and what doesn't work and are raising the bar for all of this stuff.
And honestly, Kickstarter and crowdfunding in general, tabletop gaming, board games, our games, the general nerd culture there has been, I think, the best recipient of all this because software is tough and electronics is hard. Clothing requires a lot of like other kinds of challenges, right? We get to see the benefits of this more than anything else. And the things like the elixir dice, is like, or the mimic fanny pack you had me buy last week, man.
That just closed. I was getting on today and I looked at it and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Oh, shit. I missed it by like
I'll
5
have it.
seconds,
If
literally.
you ever have an in-person convention again, I will wear my mimic fanny pack
I
and
hope so.
fight with it. I'll wear it.
I'm going to try and steal that. Let's bring
I'm
back the fanny pack, Zach.
I'm
Oh,
going to, dude.
That all rhymed.
But remember a couple of months ago when we were all like, you know, with what's going on, is this going to affect Kickstarters and stuff like that? And turns out everybody's stuck at home with nothing to do except think up more cool ideas to do Kickstarter projects.
No, and that's true. And I think that one of the things we see is I think there's not as many runaway projects with super high takes for in RPG publishing specifically, but there are a lot of projects coming out that are doing more better than successful. They're not like
I'm going to crush Zach's point by pointing this one out.
No, I think I said RPG publishing. That one's amazing.
Well, you know, if Reaper does a Bones Kickstarter, yeah, it's going to be 7 figures or whatever.
But what we're seeing is lots of really solid projects doing good numbers, which I think is great.
Yes. I mean, look at this. Frogs.
Where?
Frog miniatures. Right there. Where my...
Bring it up. Good Lord, man. Oh, boy. Okay. That sounds like something I need.
I think I need me some of those, too.
I mean, these things
that's
look...
Frogtown miniatures, dude. You need those.
These things look amazing.
Is that ending soon?
No. 14 days.
Oh.
But, yeah, I mean... And
nice.
Okay, so check this out.
Oh, there's a wizard frog. Okay, I'm in.
You get
I can see it from here.
You get different sculpts. So, yeah.
I'm gonna check that one because I think I might need those.
Yeah. I'm.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking that's gonna have to be a.
I like them.
See, the reason I'm gonna drag my feet on these is I'm not gonna paint them. As much as I want to, I'm not going to, and I haven't.
Look at that staff, dude.
I haven't quite got Jen on board to paint them for me.
Well, then you're doing a bad job as a husband. My Jen will do it. I just know it.
Well, I mean, it's too bad they both watch this show, or you could lead with, "Hey, I saw this. Home. I saw these and was thinking of you. Maybe you'd like some of these."
Yeah. No. Zach nailed it. I'm a bad husband.
Yeah. I'm a great one because she's not home yet. Oh shoot! He just walked in.
Oh boy, you're in trouble.
I'm in huge trouble now.
Yeah, no, I think this is, and it's, it's more than 10 times over goal so far.
Is that Impact Miniatures logo?
Yeah, there's an Impact. That's who's doing them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So reputable company.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's gonna, somehow I screwed this up. Okay, let's just go with it. So these are like 14 days out, but
good stuff though.
Yeah, look at all this stuff happening. We'll get a couple of more, and then we'll let people stop having to deal with my nonsense and ineptitude.
Your nonsense is the best nonsense, though, Skeeter.
I did find out that a word I've used in I've used a lot is not actually a word. I thought effectivity was a word.
Effectivity?
Yes.
That's an office word.
Yeah. I use it I use it at work all the time. And I tried to use it in a school paper and Jen said, "I don't think that's a word."
And it wasn't, was it?
So I was like, thank
She
you.
questioned your effectivity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that should always be in question.
You know, your
So
impactivity is also
so
very
this
questionable.
is the fanny pack that we're still talking about even though it's
Yep.
closed. I
It's
think
awesome.
that's
And
wonderful.
I'll have one and you won't.
Well, you'll have one and then I'll have one. And
Ooh.
I will bring the sand to kick on you. You little punk.
You may have to come to Arizona and do it, dude.
No,
I
all of
miss
it.
Jen Glazer. When you guys started this live stream, she used to be in the chat auctioning some of your stuff off.
Well, she
I,
just got home from a trip, so
yeah,
she just walked in. She's not gonna be auctioning now. She's going to be kicking my ass here in a minute, but that's okay. Because she wants to paint those miniatures for me. I know it.
that's
I could say it out loud. She can't defend herself because she won't do that on camera.
she's gonna kill you. All right,
Probably.
so some things I want to leave people with. I want to leave people with Virtual Gamehole Con. I want to leave
Honors
people
religion.
with the Phylactery 2, which I have heard the subtitle of that could be the one that I chose, which I think would be superior, but who
Was that
knows?
Phylactery 2, The Wrath of Mom?
No, I'm not going to give it away because I want Levi to have his moment. Look
You're
at
just
that.
trying. You try to make Levi do the. You try to strong arm him now. It's not cool.
Well, I'm gonna try and browbeat him because he bailed on our show. So, like my mom used to do to me, I'm going to wield guilt like a sword.
Like a side.
Yep, just hack
All right.
right through that. Look at that, scientific barbarian.
Back it.
Premiere issue.
Back it. It looks awesome.
It does.
Lots of
And
monsters, lots of magic items,
Planet
mini
X.
adventures.
I think this is going to be a very cool product. It looks like something that respectable people would put on their coffee table. Do people
And
even still have coffee tables?
no,
I do, but there's a Starship Warden terrain set covering the
Yeah,
entirety of it.
I
Right.
know if I had one, I would just have stuff on it.
Yeah, we have an ottoman, which is my TV tray,
Yep.
which is difficult because now I have to eat with the left hand, so there's food like all over the place because I am a ridiculous
Well,
mutant. I think
Alright.
Jim,
Ne oui, mon capitaine.
give us a 30-second plea for more pledgers. Sell it. Elevator pitch.
I have a feeling my pledge percentages in your audience is probably pretty high. So just help me spread the word because I know every Kickstarter people say, "Oh, I wish I'd heard about this when it was going live." It's great post-apocalyptic content that you could even use in 5e if you wanted to.
I've been
It's
very
not-
happy to see the progress of your Kickstarter, which we had a conversation off camera, and I said there's always a lull in Kickstarters. You really haven't had much of a down. You're still getting a lot of pledges. It's still going up, so that's good.
Well, thank you. I put a lot of work into that.
Yeah,
You know, you
that's
well, awesome.
that's
keep the
good
engagement
stuff.
going.
Yep.
All right, Peter Green.
So please share links. If you are a RPGer and you have friends that have a link, share it around. That's really how people get noticed is word of mouth.
I mean, I guess the selling point now, even though I haven't completely coped with it yet, is this is just issue 1, and it was, you know, a raise the flag and see who salutes issue 1. It's very clear now that it's not going to be just issue 1. I've got to go off now and solve a bunch of problems about how do I do this quarterly and subscriptions and everything else. So this is your chance to get on the ground floor with issue 1.
And do so.
Well, I think issue 2 should have some actual like good contributors. I saw the list in there, and that Levi Combs guy, nope, I don't think
Oh
he's
yeah,
a
how you like that
superstar.
pirate ship action? I just go get people to write for me that are already doing
Yeah,
their own stuff
I
and lure them
mean,
into my deal.
Mike Stewart is respectable.
Well, he
Uh,
is respectable.
I don't know if he's going to make it because there are a lot of Mondays he has to work, and there's a dangerous individual in his house.
Well, I
Especially,
recruited the whole team, so it's Liz and Mike together doing something.
oh
We
no,
did.
we can't give Liz any credit. We got to get her spun up so we can get a Friday Liz. Get her wound
We
up.
don't want that.
I actually just said something nice to her the other day, and now she's probably going to come up here and chop me up into little pieces.
We'll miss you.
No,
I
you won't.
mean,
No,
Liz
you
is
won't.
my sister from another mister, and I wouldn't fuck with her.
Yeah. No, they are both great. You got a lot of great people in this episode or edition. Sorry, episode.
All
I
right,
was
Skeeter.
thinking, fuck. I'm a mess.
So on that note, Skeeter Green, I want to thank everybody for coming on the show. Thank you, Jim, for being here, and
Thank you for
especially
having
with
me.
Levi. You took his place and you just rocketed it up. And everyone for supporting all this stuff and watching the show. Thank you very much, Skeeter Green.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jim. Support your local little creators. Go to Kickstarter. Go to Indiegogo. And keep playing the games you like.
Yes.
And we're off.